What if the most powerful sound in pop music right now is the silence that came before the return? For years, the stage waited, the lights stayed on, and millions of people around the world kept believing, quietly, patiently, that this moment would come. Now, it's finally here. After nearly 4 years away as a complete group, BTS is preparing to return together. And the global reaction isn't casual excitement. It's reverence. Major international media outlets aren't calling this a comeback in the usual sense. They're calling it a defining moment for modern pop music. In March 2026, BTS will release their 5th full-length album, 14 tracks shaped by distance, growth, uncertainty, and the emotional weight of time. This is their first full group album in almost 4 years, and every detail surrounding it feels intentional. Not rushed, not manufactured, earned. American media giants like Billboard, CBS News, People, and Complex immediately centered their coverage on one idea. This is the return of a global artist that doesn't need to reintroduce itself. Billboard described it as the moment a K-pop powerhouse steps back onto the world stage after a long hiatus, without losing relevance, without losing influence. The Washington Post went even further, saying BTS is ready to heat up 2026 like dynamite once again. And Variety captured something deeper, writing that fans aren't just waiting for the end of winter, but dreaming of the spring that follows. Not just musically, but emotionally. Because this isn't about charts, it's about meaning. International fashion and culture media echoed the same sentiment, emphasizing that BTS's return goes far beyond fandom. They credited the group with permanently shifting K-pop into the global mainstream, and stated plainly that the reunion of all 7 members may become one of the most defining moments in modern pop music history. And while the world counts down to March, something extraordinary has been happening in the background. Quietly, consistently, without spectacle. Jin. In December 2025, Jin topped the monthly K-pop rankings on the K-Doll platform with an overwhelming 424 million votes. Not driven by aggressive promotions, not fueled by controversy, but sustained, devoted support. On his birthday alone, he claimed first place on the daily rankings with over 192 million votes. He followed that by leading the weekly rankings, and by the final day of December, another surge of over 213 million votes secured his place at number 1 for the entire month. And this wasn't new. Jin had already ranked first in November, making it 2 consecutive months at the top. As a result, large-scale reward advertisements appeared in iconic Seoul locations like Gangnam Station and Apgujeong Station, funded entirely by fans. Not because they were asked to, but because they wanted to. What makes this moment truly significant isn't the numbers themselves, it's what they represent. While BTS prepares for what global media calls a historic return, Jin's unwavering presence proves that time did not dilute their impact, it refined it. His reputation as a complete idol, balancing visuals, vocals, and emotional reliability, has only strengthened. Even beyond music, Jin's tour film, released worldwide at the end of December, continues to fill theaters and spark conversations. Multiple formats, packed screenings, shared reactions spreading organically. No spectacle, just resonance. And this is the story unfolding right now. A group that stepped back, not to disappear but to grow. A member whose influence never faded, only deepened. And a return that doesn't chase attention, because attention is already waiting. This 5th album isn't just a collection of songs, it's a record of endurance, of trust. Of a bond that didn't fracture under time, it solidified. Spring isn't just approaching, it's arriving with 7 voices, and when BTS steps back onto the stage together, it won't feel like a comeback. It will feel like history continuing, exactly where it left off.